Hi, I'm Ellen
Hi,
with blackfilm.com, and I'm so excited to be chatting with Jessica Williams from Love Life Season 2. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Like I said, I'm super excited. I loved the second season of Love Life. I loved you
Thank you
in
so
Love
much. Thank you
Life.
so much. Oh my gosh, it was super fun to do that. It was like a really cool summer job. We shot it over the summer. I had gotten my vaccine, so I felt just a little bit more comfortable kind of
Right.
working. And I lived in Brooklyn for a while, so it was really nice to kind of shoot around my apartment. It was a dream.
Yeah, I saw some photos on your IG, and that now I can see what you're talking about in regards to Brooklyn and that whole vibe and that scene. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. I haven't like updated it in a while. I get so much anxiety about posting on Instagram that I usually just kind of like don't. There's just too much
Right.
pressure. And then during the pandemic, I was like, who cares? Like, what does it matter? Like, there's like other things happening. But it is. And rewatching the show back, I think Love Life does a really good job of just shooting New York. It's
Mhm.
really cozy in a way.
Yeah, New York is kind of its own character in the show. So
Uh-huh.
I thought that you showed up and showed out in this season. I gotta tell you,
What?
yes, you.
Ellen! No!
I
Wow,
yes,
thank you. That is like the deepest, like showed up and showed out is like the
no.
deepest like black compliment you could ever get, like from anyone, like showed up and showed out. So
And
I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
you're quite welcome. I loved everything about your character, Mia. What did you think of her when you first got the script and read about her?
It's funny. What I thought of her was like I I don't know. Well, it was more so like Rochelle Williams and Sam Boyd sort of met and spoke to me about her and what they had in mind because they had been working on this, I think, for a year. They had been working on the script and they had been working with Will for a year. So I think they had sort of this idea of Mia, and they really kind of turned to me to kind of fill out the rest of like her. And so I really got this unique opportunity to sort of collaborate with them and figure out who this woman is. And of course, like I was invested in her journey and invested in her and Marcus's journey together. I was just excited to play her. I was excited to play a woman figuring it out and like a Black woman figuring it out. And I am always looking for an opportunity to play like Black characters with just depth and nuance and range. And I was just excited to delve into Mia and have that opportunity.
And so that makes a lot of sense because I thought Mia came across so authentic. It was almost like I was watching Jessica as opposed to a character. So that explains a lot.
Yeah.
That you had something to do with building her. And just as much as I loved Marcus's arc, Mia's was also pretty epic. Like unlike Marcus, she's not an open book. How would you describe Mia in terms of what she didn't always show?
Yeah, I would describe her as like she is someone who um really has that sort of habit of keeping things close to the chest, I think, to avoid the disappointment that could come with being vulnerable. I think we have a lot of moments in the show that talk about vulnerability and sometimes love just being like, this is my heart, this is a blank check for you to cash and just handing it to someone. And I think Mia in particular is someone who's not prone to that based on, you know, where she's from, her experiences growing up. And luckily you'll learn more about that in episode 7. But I think she is just afraid of being seen on some deep level. And I think love is about sometimes being seen in your messiness. So I think that that is a big part of her journey is coming from someone who really sort of is afraid to love and becoming someone who maybe loves or maybe does not. I don't know if I can spoil it or not.
I think I got the memo that you can just a little bit, which is a
Okay.
great segue into
Yeah.
right? How, you know, Ish gets real in episodes 7 through 10. Like we
Yeah.
really learn about Mia. A lot is explained, her background with her family, her mom and dad, that's played by Kimberly Elise, and Blair Underwood. So can you talk a bit about that dynamic and
Oh
what?
yeah, my beautiful parents. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my in episode 7, we had a similar thing in the first season of Love Life with the brilliant Zoe Chow, who ended up getting an episode that explained her perspective more in the last season. And so I think the plan was to always make sure that we had a similar thing in this season for Mia. And I think in this, episode, you've got her parents played by, I mean, just Blair Underwood and Kimberly Elise. Like you can't,
Yeah.
like it doesn't get any better than that. And it was such an honor to work with the both of them. But I just think you learn a lot about, sort of why Mia has this habit of sort of clenching up when she gets close to people.
Yeah, there was one line in particular that just kind of hit different.
Mhm.
Mia's mother, Susan A, which by the way, that name I love.
Oh yeah, Susan A.
Susan A. Which explains her character to a T, by the way.
Yeah.
So basically, Mia projects what she's learned about men from her mother. And there's a line that Susan A says about unreliable and superfluous. And Mia sort of carries that with her
Mhm.
throughout her adulthood. And, this is a huge nod to how this series was sort of laid out, because we understand who Mia is just by those two words, unreliable and superfluous, in terms of how she shows up.
Mm.
So kudos to you for, bringing that across in a way that it was easy to connect to.
Thank you so much. That's very nice. Thank you.
Yeah. And so I love what Mia represents. To me, she felt like a steady unknown for
Mm.
Marcus. Is there any bits and parts of Mia that resonates with you?
Definitely. I think like just that fear of being known,
Yeah.
like we always have that. And I think sometimes love is risk. And so it's funny because Mia and I are a bit different, but I did find like that I was rooting for her and was just kind of like going through the choices with her. But I really relate to, just kind of fighting yourself to be loved and fighting yourself to love someone else and just accept it.
Right.
I think there's something really relatable in that.
Absolutely. There's an art to balancing comedic timing and dramatic timing, and you're masterful at it. What was it like flexing those muscles on this project?
Oh, it was really fun. I mean, William Jackson Harper is just an amazing, amazing actor. And I felt really excited to be able to have all those scenes with him.
Yeah.
And I felt like working with him, he was like inspiring my own choices in the moment. And so I really felt like I got to enjoy being spontaneous on screen.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy with the various directors that we had in this season, that I was able to improvise sometimes and sort of add my ideas, which were welcome. And I don't know, I just felt like there was room to really dig into the character and just act freely without feeling like I was shackled to anything or any style. Like it was just, I felt free on set.
Yeah. And it's good that you actually brought up William Jackson Harper. I bring up synergy a lot in interviews, rightfully so. So I was curious about what your chemistry was like between you and William and how it informed Mia and Marcus.
What if I was just like, it was really bad? It was really bad. Oh no, it was great. It was awesome. He's the best. He's so kind, so smart, so sweet, so talented, brilliant, but just he made it easy to work and he made it fun to work. He was a joy. And I know when we did our last scene, shot our last scene for the season, and it was, I think everything was kind of shot in order. Like it was kind of shot in order. The last scene was the last thing we shot. I was like so sad to be done working with Will in this kind of capacity with these characters. Like he was just such a good partner.
The way it ended, it definitely made me feel or want to see what else happens. Like, can we follow
Oh my gosh, I wish.
Characters, like, you know, what happens to them after this, and so it goes back to like how it started versus how it ended, and
Mhm.
everything in between was just magical and very natural and very relatable.
Yeah.
So thank you again for this. I can't stress enough how much I love Mia. She's cool as ice.
Thank you. Cool as ice. Another one. I showed up and showed out, and Mia's cool as ice. I'm like honored. I don't need any more interviews for this.
Right. And I made a note, you know, and I'm not just saying this to toot your horn. This is how I really feel, just based on how you showed up in this role. Like, there are a lot of Black women, a lot of Black girls that will see this and feel like, wow, I can relate to Mia, you know, or I am Mia on so many levels.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's all about. Like, that's like my dream, is that people watch this and like women of color and like watch it, and they just feel seen, and like there's just another form of representation. There's just another person of color on the screen that they're relating to, because we didn't really have as much variety, like, you know, since the beginning of film and television. So every single time we can get just in front of the TV telling a new story or in a movie, like that's the dream. That's exactly what I want. So I'm happy to hear that. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. I appreciate you talking with
Thank you,
Black.
Ellen. Appreciate you.
All right, have a good one.
Okay, be well. Thank you.
Bye.